What's up, y'all? Good morning. It's your boy Romance. Again, I'm in a hurry. Again, you get a peep show. Again, you get a show. All right. Today's show is going to be, tomorrow is Yule. Tomorrow's the shortest day of the year. I'm psyched because I'm going to be celebrating it with other people that are celebrating Yule, shall we say. And it's the first time I've ever done that with other people. And definitely I need to be around like-minded people right now. And so that's happening for me tomorrow. And in the wake of that, or in the, because of that, I wanted to do today's list. Today's another top 10 list, and it's Christmas related. But it's going to be the top 10 reasons you're celebrating paganism this Christmas. All right. Number 10, these are all reasons why, and I'm going to do a show on Christianity, too. I'm going to do the Jesus birth thing and try to explain that as much as I can and how that's all tied into this holiday. But the more I do my research, it's almost like I can't believe, if it's not obvious to you that Christianity was thrown on top of a ancient pagan holiday. I don't know what you're looking at, but anyways, all right. So number 10 on this list is for the reasons that you're celebrating paganism. Number 10 is that you're celebrating the solstice. That's right. Even though it's on December 25th, it got moved 4 days later. You're basically having a holiday on the shortest day of the year, and you're celebrating the shortest day of the year, which is a very, very non-Christian thing to do. I don't know if it's non-Christian to celebrate. If Jesus was against celebrating the movement of the sun, I don't know what his stance was on that. But I know that Christianity itself does not play that stuff. You're not supposed to worry about the seasons and stuff. All you worry about is Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. So the fact that you're having this big, huge holiday on something so close to the solstice, that's paganism. You're celebrating the winter solstice festival, whether you like it or not. All right, number 9 on the list. Reason you're celebrating paganism. Here's a big clue for you. Number 1, mistletoe is like a parasite that grows on trees that only are in northern hemispheres, like Europe, Russia, Canada, and America. I don't think mistletoe is found, or it's not very plentiful in the Middle East, where Jesus is from, okay? Mistletoe has medicinal properties, but it's also poisonous. It is believed to hold potential for male virility. It is all used for all kinds of magical stuff in witchcraft and paganism. So, and the whole thing about standing under the mistletoe and kissing, believe me, pagans did a lot worse than kiss when they were under the mistletoe. Virginity was not a prized quality of most pagan societies, and I know the Celts, which I know most about. Definitely, the whole mistletoe thing is that the Druids were all about mistletoe. So you're celebrating, when you have mistletoe, you're celebrating paganism. All right, and then along with that, number 8 on the list is holly. It's the same deal. Mistletoe is considered to be, this is a holiday that's supposed to symbolize the union between a god and a goddess, and somehow the mistletoe is white. When you get mistletoe, it should be a little bit of white in it, and that's supposed to, I guess, symbolize semen. And somehow the holly has red berries on it and has fruit on it, and it's bright red, and even in the middle of winter, and that's supposed to somehow symbolize menstruation of the goddess. Holly protects your house. Holly is there's a protective element in holly. But that's pagan. You're celebrating, holly and the mistletoe go together, and that's why, okay? And definitely, again, holly is something that's used in Wicca, magic, Druids use it, etc. I know this stuff. All right. Now, while doing my research last night, I found a lot about this. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do a show on it or not, but, Christianity, we think of Christmas as a family holiday. We think of Christmas as a commercialized holiday. the ancients and pretty much all the way up until Puritan New England in America, kind of like, it really was what it was. Like, there was a Christian holiday, and I doing my research on this, I almost understand why the church threw Jesus on top of all this, because there was some debauchery going on Christmas throughout the ages, like rioting, like orgies, like I'm not talking just in ancient Rome, but in ancient Rome, like, children were invited to the orgies. Those are some fucking sick pooches, the Romans. But it was very, like, one side, or black and white. Like, you either, like, believed in Christmas and were pagan and you wild out. Because during the Middle Ages, even when everyone was Christian, like, the whole 12 days thing, like, even if you were a peasant, you got 12 days off of working, and you got to do whatever you want. So people wild out, and, like, there was a lot of sex associated with Christmas. It was a fertility festival, you know what I'm saying? So throughout the as Christianity got stronger, pagans started, trying to people who still, like, believed in the pagan aspect of it, did something to identify themselves. They put special lights on their houses, and that evolved into Christmas lights. So when you put Christmas lights up on your house, again, it has nothing to do at all with Jesus. Even if you are Christian and you're celebrating Christmas for him, like, the fact you're lighting your house is a reminder that originated from being, like, reminding other pagans that you too are pagan. That's where the lights on your house came from. So when you put up lights, you're celebrating paganism. All right, number 6 on the list is the Yule log. We hear lots and lots about Yule logs. What the hell is a Yule log? Now, I talked before about the 12-day aspect of this festival. What would happen in Norse society and Germanic society is they would cut down a big, humongous tree. They would shape it like a penis, and then it would burn for 12 straight days. And on every one of those nights, there would be a sacrifice. Sometimes humans, not always. But I mean, if someone's condemned to death, you might as well sacrifice them to the gods. I mean, might as well just, like, cover all your bases and be like, all right, I want to hit we're going to take this person out, and, this is a criminal who won't fit into our society. We're going to have to kill him anyway, so might as well dedicate it to a god or two. I don't know. But anyway, the Yule log is definitely, there's nothing Christian about the Yule log. It's all about paganism, wood, and of course with the Yule log you're supposed to burn it but leave a little bit and then save it for next year so the cycle continues. Nothing whatsoever to do with Christ or Christianity or the birth of Jesus or anything. It is a pagan custom, and we still have it ever present in our Christmases. All right, number 5 on the list is elves. Okay, elf. The concept of elves is from Finland. We associate elves with Santa, and that's going to come later on this list as well. But the idea that there's elves involved with Christmas, we associate Christmas with elves. Again, not even anything to do with, forget Christianity. That has nothing to do with humanity. Like, you got to go to freaking, J.R.R. Tolkien to find more elves. And that's where, by the way, Tolkien's works, the Lord of the Rings, is patterned off of the Swedish or the Finnish national story. It's a long, very long bardic song called the Kalevala, or the Land of the Gods, and that's where a lot of his idea of the elves comes from. Now, we don't have elves in Christmas because of J.R.R. Tolkien. J.R.R. Tolkien is 20th century, and we had elves involved before that. But the concept of it comes from, like, pagan Finland, and Finland people aren't even, like, Indo-European. We don't know what the fuck. They're like a weird offshoot of, like, an older race that was already there, and elves are part of their lore. So you're not celebrating the fact there's elves involved. You're celebrating paganism. All right, number 4 is the idea of gift giving. All right, I don't really like say this just to like diss Christianity, but like Jesus was pretty clear about like being poverty is the way to go. Not having shit. You don't need that much in life. It's one of the one things, like, no matter what I celebrate, I'm going to love Jesus for that alone. I'm going to always love Jesus because he was poor. He promoted poverty and told everyone who was poor, it's all right, man. You know what I mean? There's no money in heaven. So I think his famous quote in the book of Matthew, is it? Sooner shall a camel pass through the eye of a needle than a rich man enter the gates of heaven. I love that line. It's my favorite passage in the Bible. I guess because I'm broke. Maybe that's a reason. But gift giving has nothing. The idea of gift giving comes from the nativity story and the Magi. Now, the Magi are. I don't know why everyone seems to think black people come from Persia. I don't know what it takes to get people to realize Persia is the same as Iran. Iran is the same as Aryan, and the wise men were a bunch of white witchcraft, witchy dudes who practiced magic. Magi, magic, same word, okay? These were magicians that came to visit Jesus, and they brought him gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Everything about Christianity is about poverty, so why even gold is in there? That's some shit to like, just to tie us into the banking systems. Again, it's not really even. I don't even think as a Christian that should be believed. The whole necessarily the nativity and the three wise men story, but that is where the gift giving thing comes from. That the wise men brought gifts, so now everybody has to give each other gifts, or at least gifts to children on Christmas. There's nothing, and also paganism. There's nothing in paganism about gift giving. There's really nothing in Christianity about gift giving, although there's nothing in the Bible about Christmas itself, other than the book of Luke describes the birth of Jesus. So yeah, and again, not only are you celebrating the gift giving is not Christian and it's anti-Christian, but you are celebrating the fact that he got visited by three wizards. Three Harry Potter dudes came to visit Jesus right when he was born. They thought he was Mithras. They worshipped there was a god who's a lot from Persia who's a lot like Jesus. They were getting into monotheism at that point. A lot of the world was just naturally getting out of paganism, or at least like watering it down to. Maybe we're pagan, but there's not a million zillion gods. There's only one or two, and the people in Persia believed in this. It's the never setting sun god, the never ceasing sun god, and somehow like the description of that, his name is Mithras, and that's description like registered with them. Like all the signs pointed to this Mithras was going to be born, and that's why they went so far east. They kept following this star they saw, and they thought it was their god being born, Mithras. And I guess they were wrong because it was really the Jewish god, not their god, being born. But anyway, all right, number 3 on the list has nothing to do with Christianity at all, and yet it's ever present at all holidays, and that is the drinking of alcohol, the festivity of Christmas, the birth of Christ. Well, why you have to get drunk to celebrate the birth of mankind and God's child, I don't get. But like, it has nothing to do with Christianity. The fact that we drink, and I'm sure we'll all get nice and loopy this holiday season. But remember, when you're drinking, you're having a celebration over Jesus' birth. That's not Christian. That's very pagan. Every Christian in the world is against, I'm sure, drinking in the name of Jesus. Drinking in the name of, now you do what they told you. All right. Number 2 reason you're celebrating paganism is Christmas trees. Yes, you are chopping down a living being, a plant, in the forest. It's going to die. It's going to die within your house, and its spirit will now forever be inside your house, protecting your house for the rest of the year. That is as pagan as it gets, brother. That is as anti-Christian as it gets. You're decorating it and you're putting making it into a little shrine. You're almost worshiping it as you're decorating it. You're looking at it and saying, wow, what's so beautiful. And you're lighting it up. Everything about that is pagan. Pagan. You're putting decorations on it. Now, I can't prove or disprove. I read once that, like, Christmas trees, you put the heads of your severed enemies on it. Not sure that everyone had heads of severed enemies. Not everyone was a warrior, but like Christmas, and then also you're supposed to put fruit all over it. But that anyway, one of those two things is how the Christmas balls came along. Tinsel, I'm telling you, everything about it is not Christian. And then the number one reason you're celebrating paganism is, all right, there's 3 different fat guys from around the world who may or may not have existed, who can magically make enough toys. He can fly. He has reindeers who can also fly. He can get to every single house in the world, eat cookies, drink milk. Santa Claus is like superhuman. He's like almost like Superman. And he does magical things, and he can tell when you're sleeping. He can see the future. He can see what you're doing wrong. Santa Claus is very godlike. Santa Claus is a derivative of Father Christmas, which is a derivative of Kris Kringle. They also are a derivative of St. Nicholas, which was a person that lived and was part of the church. But we've jumbled and mumbled, and like St. Nicholas and Santa and Kris Kringle are all the same thing to us now, but really they're not. They're all different things. But either way, you're going to... And then the number one drawback, my least favorite aspect of Christmas besides the commercialism, and because really I think Christmas should be about family, about being together, not about how much money you spend on somebody or gifts. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's a modern thing, and it's a banking thing, and I'm not going to say who I think is responsible for that, but yeah, like we're worshiping a pagan god in Santa, whether you like it or not. But the number one negative thing about Santa is that the whole thing is a lie. You have to lie to your children about Santa, and then later on they found out that you lied to them. It's a good lie because, you know, Santa's wonderful when you're a kid, the whole idea of believing in him, and then you sit on his lap and this. I mean, there's another thing you do. Like, you stand in a line and bring your kid to sit with this guy for a minute. Pay money to sit with this guy. If that's not cultism, I don't know what is. But anyway, that's the top 10 reasons you're celebrating paganism this winter. I want you all to have a happy Yule, Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and every other holiday to be good for you this year. May all your blessings come true. May 2019 kick ass. World according to Romance. Have a great day, people.